Okay, here we go again. I am making a video for YouTube and I'm trying to have a good setup. Okay, this desk and this chair don't go together, so I feel a little awkward, but I got my mic. Okay. And I am making this YouTube video about the letter I just wrote to Netflix. Yeah. Feel a little silly doing it, but here we go. I am making this video about the letter I just wrote to Netflix. The letter will explain everything, so have a watch, have a listen. Here we go. I can't believe I'm doing this. I feel very awkward and silly, but dear Netflix, I was recently watching The School for Good and Evil, and it gave me the idea to write to you. I have no doubt that you may never see this. However, just like the girl in the movie who wrote the letter to a magical school she had never seen before, with just a knowing that a better world existed outside of her own, I am writing this with a knowing that if you took it seriously, anyway, I want to be a filmmaker for you. I currently write screenplays, synopses, and log lines for film and theater, etc., etc. I have been an actor, writer, I've even directed, I even have credits on IMDb, but never for the big screen or big stage, which is, of course, the ultimate goal. This is just the first intro letter in a series where I am pitching my story ideas to you, and I hope it will attract your attention. If not, at least some viewer out there will be entertained by my storylines. I know if some exec over there were to read one of my ideas or see one of these videos, it could spark a series or a hit movie on your platform. I hope the one reading or seeing this is such an exec who is in the Netflix game. Here are just some of the titles that I've either written recently or years ago. They've just been sitting there collecting dust. The Infinity Cube, a movie about the conflict happening on a planet where everything is made out of origami. I was inspired to write this one while teaching origami and creating an origami infinity cube. If you go on YouTube, you can see it. It's cool. Home Ting. Home Ting is about an Americanized Caribbean man who reverts back to his upbringing to protect his family during a string of home invasions. My family is from Trinidad and Tobago, and even though I was born here in America, I always get glimpses of growing up there from the stories they tell or when I go back to visit. You know, things that they did when they grew up for fun that is just not like an American upbringing. Okay, big concept. Home Ting is Crocodile Dundee meets The Purge meets Home Alone. If you can see that. Okay, next one. Ghetto Love. Now, Ghetto Love is the first full-length feature film screenplay that I ever wrote. I wrote this back in like 99. But it is based on the song Renee by the rap group The Lost Boys. I grew up in Queens, New York. Used to listen to their album on repeat. You know, cousins were Lost Boys, friends were Lost Boys, goes on and on. But it's about a young drug dealer whose parents were killed in front of him. He grows up living the street life, which includes more love for money and power than for his fellow man or woman. That is until he meets Angie. Angie is the Latinx, queen that is also happens to be the daughter of a suit and tie gangster. Too bad love and death is just another day of life in the ghetto. I just thought the visual story in that song and the video itself, the music video, were just so compelling that it needed a longer storyline to flesh out all of its nuances. Okay, so those are three of them. In future videos, I'm planning to elaborate more on the full stories behind the above descriptions, along with some of my other titles like Paradigm of the Immortals, Inner Darkness Karma, Me and the Boys, Conversations with a Jumbie, Luke's Disciples, The Adventures of Chunky Fats, The Machine Man's Kids, The Education of Anne. And so much more like that I've written, and they're just sitting there either on my computer or I've typed them out, but they're just there waiting for the world to see them. Turning the page. Now, if you're watching this and you have the power or you don't have the power, but you're entertained, please let me know in the comments which of these titles sparked your interest, and I'll elaborate on those or that one in my next letter to Netflix. Now, if you can make anything happen, please contact me to discuss my future involvement in the Netflix machine that I love so much. You can contact me at davin.sde@gmail.com or thesokacompany@gmail.com. And by the way, I am aware that I'm giving out my intellectual property here. However, I do believe that putting it out there in the form of this video provides some form of copyright. In other words, steal my ish and I will sue your. You get the point. Okay, that's it for now. Bye-bye.